Hey there, Internet. Keev here, and welcome to the Cars with Keev YouTube channel. In this video, we're just going to do a wash and talk, kind of going over the pressure washers in the market today, the new ones coming, some stuff I just heard the other day, even more newer pressure washers coming. So if you're looking and you're in the market and you don't need it now, I would suggest to wait because there is so much coming. It just depends on what you're looking for. So we're just going to go through. This is Helen. This is my wife's car. It's a 440i BMW. And it's just got wrap and wheels. It's held up. We're 3 full years on this wrap now. It's been beat up pretty bad, but the install was perfect. So it holds up really good. We'll first start out with the wheels. We have our Maniac wheel and tire cleaner in my IK Foam Pro 2 here. It's about 7-to-1. That's what I like to keep it at. I like the way it foams. I like the frothiness that it has. It's not like a really thick foam. It just cleans really, really well. I like it so much. I like it so much. So much, I got it on my car. From a pressure washer standpoint, we did review recently that M Pro from MaxFlow. And I don't think a lot of people got what I was doing in the video. Some people were saying that it looked like I didn't know what I was doing. Well, that was kind of the point. It was an overcomplicated pressure washer, the whole R2D2 thing that I talk about in the video. I wanted to show it from a consumer's point of view, just kind of starting out of the box, because that's how most consumers are going to approach the product. I mean, we worked it right in the end. We got amazing performance, an amazing pressure washer. It's just loud. The overcomplication is no big deal. We can get around that. The sound was the main problem. And I never once docked that pressure washer in the video. I was just like, that they've got to get past this. And they say they're already working on version 2 to get things better. And talking about version 2s, the AR630 is up there on the wall. Just a really good pressure washer. Is it worth the $950? That's the hard part, because before it was just below $800. Is it worth that increase? The Big Boy, I talked to them the other day. The new Big Boy 20 amp coming out, it's about $800. That puts the Active 2.3 in a really good spot at $650. But they've got a version 2 coming too. And is that version 2 going to be more expensive? What could be the version 2 of an Active 2.3? The only complaint that anybody has is how loud it is, which could be why it's sold out and they're just bringing out this version 2 that is the same, but maybe it's quieter, different motor or something like that. Or is there a second one that's a 20 amp model that has a lower RPM motor that isn't as loud? It should be launched with their new wall mount system, which is really nice. They're supposed to send me that to review and send me the new 2.3, but they said they'll let me know in an email next week all about it. So I don't quite know a whole lot about what's going on with it. The Big Boy 20 amp Pro is coming. They kind of abandoned their 15 amp attempt at the Pro. They're just going 20 amp because they found out in the United States that voltage is all over the place, and it's just a 4-pole motor on a 15 amp just doesn't do it. I actually have one coming. I paid $800 for it. It's coming next week. They have their washer flow, which has been in Europe and areas for 5 years, and it's finally coming to the United States. And then they have their 4-piston model, which is kind of like the Active 2.0. That's coming over as well. I have to let this dry a little too much. Put a little more on there. But yeah, I mean, who knows? And others are coming out with ones. This is my tire brush. I shaved the end of this off so I can get in here on my lower car. It doesn't matter as much here, but I can get higher up without ever touching here. I'll never not use this way. And I spray it on dry because if I rinse the wheel off before I put the foam on, I am diluting my chemicals even more. And I want them to be effective, especially on the tire. I want that tire stuff to clean. I don't want it to be diluted even more on the surface. So that McKillen's is coming out with a pressure washer. I didn't know if you knew that. They talked about it. They've been emailing their customers saying, hey, we have these concepts, and they're saying they're working with the best pump manufacturer in the world. I don't know who that is. There aren't that many pump manufacturers out there. Maybe they're working with Active because they sell Active on their website. They use Active a lot in their videos. Who knows? But they're kind of, from what I look like, it's kind of the same concept as the MaxFlow. they're having the ports on the same side, and they're using their own shell. Or maybe they're working with MaxFlow. I don't know. But they got one coming. Obviously, Josh has his quiver coming. And no, I'm not getting the barrels. I forgot. But so many coming. It's kind of hard to make a decision. Now with AR retooling and AR coming out with their new version, is Kranzler going to do the same? I really think Kranzler needs to step up the performance game a little bit to match their durability, and I think it'd be much more worth their price. I mean, I am super intrigued with this Active 2.3, and that wall mount looks pretty cool too. Like, it's well put together, and it's meant and created not just for their products, for other products, which is good. But man, it said, I thought last year was the year of the pressure washer. This year is the year of the pressure washer. I'm always worried, am I going to struggle for content down the road? It doesn't look like it. I mean, this industry is really, and there's areas that we really haven't had like the saturation that I think we need yet to get some really awesome products, like the battery foamer area. Well, this is the first big name to go in there. It's hopefully we get more. The electric sprayer market, definitely there's more players in there, but the foam is where it's at for me. And I love electric. I don't want to pump nothing. I mean, I don't know. Just who knows? And you're never going to see me create a pressure washer, so I don't mind, like I said, doing the testing, ahead of time, and then that way I'll kind of know a lot about the product, because when I do run my review, I'll be able to give you a very, a much better, longer term, report on the machine rather than just getting it, using it. We don't know what's going to happen down the road if there's going to be issues. That's why a lot of times the first versions, the early adopters, they're a lot of times the guinea pigs to just like a new car, the very first model year of a car. Like you're kind of a guinea pig to all the little issues that they didn't find when they did all their initial testing, because you can do all the testing you want, but you can't volume test like the market can. So all the different environments, everything. And by the way, these bucket dollies right here, they're 15 bucks at Walmart. I think somebody said my link was broken. I'll have to check that, but yeah, they're amazing. Chemical Guys buckets. So it's like, I figured this video, I didn't want to start from a table and just present you the products. Just show them what we use as we go. Maniac Wheel and Tire, available at the House of Rags. Code CARSWITHKEAV will save you 10%. We gotta, I know obviously, it looks like I'm using this stuff. It's helping me, but a lot of these things in videos cost money. So we need the income, because if I didn't have the income, I wouldn't be able to make the kind of reviews that I do that could help people out, show you the products so you don't have to, incur that cost initially. It doesn't cost you anymore because, that you have the ad revenue on the video and the commission from the sale. If you were going to go buy it and you click the link, if you use a discount code, obviously that's, helping you, helps me as well. If you just click an Amazon link, then obviously I'm going to get a commission from that, but that didn't cost you anymore. So, it's a way to help the channel. If you don't want to, you don't have to, obviously. All right, wheels and tires are done. I don't know if you noticed, you see my Viper chair, the tray's missing, the Scratchmaster 9000 trays that stick out the sides. I tell you, I like the Viper chair a lot more without those damn things on there. That was a waste of $100, really, in my opinion. Obviously, this is the cheaper of the Viper chairs. It's the guy's in motorcycle. The cheaper of the chairs, it's like $400. It's the Rogue, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. It's like something sport. So the seat cushion isn't as thick as their more expensive ones. But I mean, it works. Obviously, they're uber expensive, and are they worth the price? I don't think so, but that's the price you have to pay to get them. This is another IK eFoam Pro 2. As you can see on the other one, the Maniac, I have a yellow indicator. This lets me know that this is my all clean with the blue. 15-to-1 all clean. This has nothing else in it to make it foam. My wife went to airport, so car sat outside for a week. So it's got all kinds of stuff all over it. The dust in the air from the construction every time the dew hits the car in the morning, that hits the car, and you have little dirt beads all over the place. Not harmful, but you definitely need to get them off the car. You see, it foams. All clean actually does foam. It does foam by itself. No way. All clean does foam. I think it's the power of the IK, really. Yeah, it does foam. Let's just do the whole dang thing. There's gonna be people in the comments saying that was a waste of time, blah, 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 but it's just the way I do things. Deal with it. We're gonna cover it with that incredible Suds. I have the dial about a half turn from max. That's about right where I like to have it sit and give me the foam I need, and at the same time not waste product. The goal is to only use 30 milliliters of product. There's 90 in the bottle. So hopefully there's still 2/3 of that left when we're done. All right, here we go. I can say we're down to about the 60 milliliter mark, so we used 30 milliliters. So while we're letting that dry a little bit, we can switch gears. Channel Health, real good. Prime Day went really, really well. I only put out the one video because the Prime Day deal is just worth the whole 4 days. Nothing changed. And I woke up the second day at 4 a.m. thinking I'd make another video, but basically it was just a couple of products that I didn't catch the first time around, but it wasn't worth the whole video. It really wasn't. And a lot of the deals were just deals that you see throughout the year. They're just not all the time. Everything else going well. We're keeping with the 2 videos a week for the rest of the year. So we're gonna try to keep that going. If I ever do go full time, it will be 3 videos a week. We'll see how that goes. I'll be able to collab a little bit more, travel around, go to different places. So I'm hoping like a 2-year plan on that, maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's a long way to go. Obviously, it's very different doing this as a hobby, making some money to spend on lawn equipment and other things versus this paying your bills. You'll operate differently. That's just the way it is. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? I'm doing it because I like to do it. I love reviewing products. Washing cars on camera, not so much. I really enjoy testing and reviewing the products. Washing's still kind of an escape for me, which is why I haven't done a landscaping lawn channel, because that's my last escape from reality and filming myself mowing the grass and dealing with my grass. I just don't feel like it would make it fun anymore. It really wouldn't. And that's why you don't see me wash cars as much in the videos, because it's not fun on camera. Time for our second foam. And is this foam needed? No, it's not, because if you have a bucket, then you could just use, the foam in the bucket. Doing it this way, you really don't even need a bucket. The reason I use the bucket is because I use multiple media and I don't want them to be dry. I want them to already be soaked in some product before I go to the hood. So this is just fun, and it gives you a point of reference as well, where you've last touched the car, and obviously just more lubricity and some therapeutic fun, right? You can tell me all day long it's not needed, this isn't that needed, but you're gonna argue yourself to death trying to convince me otherwise. This is how I do things. This is my process, and in the end, the car is clean. Now I'm going to fill up my bucket, and I don't really care how much I put in there because we're just going to shoot some foam into the bucket to create, you know, that lubricity that we need. We've got foam on the surface, so that's probably way too much water. And it's crazy, even at the 5 gallons per minute I was running right there, it's still 0 ppm on the meter. And then I'll just finish it off with some of this. So in my bucket, I'm using Autofiber Flips. I have 4 of them. It just depends on how dirty the car is. Sometimes I'll use 3, sometimes I'll use 4. And this is a nice, thick, plush microfiber, which is what you should use when you're using it as a wash media. You don't want a thin one because that makes you push a lot of the pressure from your fingertips onto the surface. I just put my Autofiber Flips in here. Get them soaking wet. Now, yeah, I can start doing my thing. Oh, look at that, the glide. These flips, when you have like incredible suds or something like that in there, the glide is just, look at this, it's like, yeah, it's just, like compared to rinseless wash, I'm kind of out of the frame. Rinseless wash doesn't glide like this to me. Like, it's different. This, oh, I've kind of sometimes forgotten how good that slides around. And Incredible Suds is incredible. It's just, it's the soap that I love the most. It's like you stick with a soap you like and you just keep on using it. I don't get stuck in the whole hype on the chemicals, even though, yes, new chemicals out there, amazingly good. Do they, at the end of the day, when I contact wash, is the car any cleaner? Nope, it's not. Now, could you be much more touchless? Yes, obviously. But I still have to contact the car. I'm a pressure washer guy. I buy all kinds of pressure washers to review. I don't review chemicals because chemical reviews are subjective and all they do is get you into a whole bunch of drama that I don't want to be involved in. So more or less for me, the top of the car, the trunk, the rear deck, and the windows is 2 sides. And then I flip and then I move on to the windshield and the hood. I might not need 4. And then I'll flip, and that way I can do the hood. Oh, that slide. I have to slow my hand down because it's gliding too much. It's been, you know, it's actually been a minute since I've done a foam contact. And I am remembering why I loved it so much. Sometimes the convenience of the rinseless wash, I'm gonna have to do a little more foaming. Just not for any other reason than it's fun. The feedback from the glide I got is crazy good. Love it. When I'm done with it, wring it out a little bit. I have switch track, so it goes right below them. Doesn't matter. Put it right in the washing machine. And then I'll run the washing machine when I'm done. I use Renaissance microfiber wash from Detail Co. It's good. I love it. So I'm going to start doing my top to bottom around. This is what I would consider a panel when I'm up this high. So I get the handle about right there. That to me is a panel, but this panel goes all the way around the car. And it wasn't in screen, but I had already flipped once on that panel. So I flip it inside out. I can do one more down. That gives like this half of the car and then go around. And then on that one on the bottom, I might flip that one 4 times between the sides because it's all the way, you know, at the bottom of the car. I flipped before I finished this part though, right here. Sometimes just not paying attention, but that's fine. We'll start from here now. I might go back up a little bit, bang my arm on the side view mirror too while I'm at it. All right, we can flip inside out. This is why I like the media really soaking out of the bucket because Once you get into that fourth flip, your microfibers will start drying out on you a little bit. That's why the foam on the surface really helps as well too. I'm going to flip this one now through the front of the car to there. I have one more. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, let's go to a new media. Yeah, it just wasn't feeling right, so I decided I did that flip to here. I didn't feel like I could do another round. I could just do this side. Got to the front of the car, got about halfway through, and I was like, nah, it's a little too much. I still got 2 more of these in here, so. I'm just gonna start down a little bit further down here. That's basically a panel. Then I'll get over here, and then we have twice as much to do on the other side, which isn't in view. Sorry about that. Yep, that was 4 flips right there. Well, not really 4 flips, 4 sides, 3 flips. Now for the dirty stuff. Cupping that hand underneath that bottom running board, that's where the stuff likes to collect. It's actually pretty clean. I'm surprised. The flip to the front. All right, those are all done. Now we can rinse. And the great thing about this is I could cap off this bucket and use that for the next foam wash, which I think will be foam next because that was fun. So before I rinse that off, we'll let it dwell just a little bit. But SEMA, my son is coming with me to be my cameraman. So we were able to get him a media pass. So I have a media pass, so we'll be able to get in there 30 minutes early and just knock videos out and be able to enjoy the trip a little bit more, a little bonding time with my son as well, be able to hang out with the guys at the House of Rags and all kinds of different places and feel less pressured about the video because he can do the camera. I have a separate iPhone this year. Last year I used my main iPhone and I've had an issue trying to do Instagram stuff, trying to have enough battery and keep charged and this and that. It just didn't work out. Having a separate iPhone with an extra battery on it is going to be the way to go. It's going to make the content so much better. I'm going to be able to walk around with a microphone and I'm just going to ask people questions and put it in their face. Rather than what I did last year is explain behind the camera and just kind of pan through the products. This time I can kind of be a little more candid with the camera. It's going to be uncomfortable in crowds of people, but I'm getting better at it. Spend about half day each day on filming and the other half just hanging out, chit-chatting, maybe getting a little bit of that edit in while we're hanging out at people's areas if they have a table. Knock some stuff out and then go to dinner, do a thing, do a little gambling, go back to the hotel room, edit, get that video uploaded for the next morning. That's the whole goal. 4 videos posted the next day to be one of the first ones out, and because that's what matters when it comes to clicks and views, you know? So I have the KEAV nozzle on here. This is the 0.3 millimeter filter with the AR on. Just, I don't need the pressure now. I want the soak. I'm just trying to get all this drenched down into the drains and out. Quick beads is something you don't want to dry on the car, something you don't want to spray onto the car without water on it. And you definitely don't want to do this in sunlight. You definitely want to do it in the shade for sure. And I'll just spray it in there and let it fall all over the car. All right, final rinse, same thing. I'm just going to go over get all the quick beads off of the surface. It should be a lot slicker now. Water should come off a lot easier. Yeah, that quick bleed just gives you a really nice hydrophobic layer. So if you were fixing to use your leaf blower, it's gonna come off a lot easier. So I got my wonderful Ryobi here. I love this thing. I use it in the garage every single day. You know, to do an entire car, a bit much for one battery. But the cracks and crevices to get stuff out that's gonna drain other places, it works really well. And around the garage, just blowing stuff off and using it here and there. I use it all because it's so easy and quick to get to versus a big old leaf blower. Now, I may have gotten a little carried away with the blower. I definitely did the hood. I usually always do the windows, and then I'll get the cracks and crevices around the windows, like this hood crack right here, because these are areas where water collects and runs down. But inside there, it's much dirtier than the rest of the car. That water could collect a dust and stuff there and then run out. And then when it falls out somewhere, it could dry as a spot somewhere else. So I always try to get those areas out. Side view mirror as well. Inside of there doesn't get clean behind the mirror. So there's stuff in there that can drip out with the water, contaminate. The sides of the car I don't really care about. I just figured the battery, might as well use it all up, right? So there you go. Let me know what you think about pressure washers in the video. Obviously, coming to SEMA, if you're coming to SEMA, I have much more time to do meet people. If you DM me and you want to meet and talk, I'm going to have much more time this time around having the camera guy with me, my son, to be able to, you know, get things done a little bit quicker. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to links below for anything in the video. And I'll see you in the next video. So we're gonna do a foam rinse. So we're gonna do a foam rinse foam. So we're gonna do a foam wash. So we're gonna do a foam rinse foam. So we're gonna do a foam rinse foam. So we're gonna have. So we're letting that dwell a little bit. So while we're waiting.